video is about pliés, a basic and very important move in ballet and dancing. So if you are a beginner dancer and want to know more about the basic techniques, keep watching. Pliés are so important because they are a part of all the important moves. They are the beginning and the ending of jumps, they are the beginning and the ending of turns, and they help to connect different movements in a smooth and beautiful way. Plié means to bend, and we bend the knees in a turned out position. That means from the hips we rotate the legs outwards, the knees are pointing outwards and the feet go outwards. And then it is very important when we bend the knees, that the knees point in the same direction as the toes. So if we don't have a flat turn out of 180 degrees, that's fine. Just close the position a little bit, but make sure the knees go in the same direction as the toes. In plié, it is important to squeeze the glutes and engage the inner thighs to rotate as much as possible. Another important thing is that if you go down, you want to pull up with your upper body in the opposite direction. So you don't want to just sit down, but the knees are bending, but the upper body is growing up as much as possible. Another important thing is that you don't want to bend the knees and then stretch, but you want to do it smoothly. So you go down and with resistance, and then you go slowly up. There is no stop. So you go down and up. And there are two types of pliés. There are the demi-plié, where the heels stay on the floor the whole time. So you go down as far as you can without the heels lifting, and then you come back up. Grand plié starts with demi-plié, so you go down, and when the heels can stay on the floor, you lift them up a little bit, then you bring them back to the floor, and then you straighten the legs again. You can do pliés in all positions. We just did the first position. You can do the second position. There the heels stay on the floor even in the in the grand plié. So we go demi-plié and grand plié. And we can do it in the fourth position. Demi-plié and grand plié. Make sure to keep both knees as turned out as possible. And in the fifth position, demi-plié and grand plié. Keep your heels together and come up. Now we do some exercises to improve your pliés. Come into a standing position and do a big step to the front with your left leg. You should feel an intense stretch along the calf of your back leg. If you don't feel anything, do a wider step. Pull your belly button in and lengthen your tailbone to the floor to make sure that the front of your right hip is long. As a variation, bend your back knee and the stretch will be slightly different. A flexible backside of your calves is key for deep and elastic pliés. This is why we do these exercises to lengthen your muscles. Again, make sure to keep your belly button in and your tailbone down. Let's now switch to the other side. Do a big step with your right foot to the front and bring your left heel to the floor. First, keep your left knee straight. In this position, both feet want to point exactly to the front. You don't want to turn out here. Now bend your left knee and feel the slightly different stretch. Always in these exercises make sure to keep a good body posture. Your chest is lifted, your belly button in, your tailbone down. Alright, well done. For the next exercises, come to lie down on your back. Bring your feet close to your body and lift your hips. Open your knees and do pulses with your hips up to the ceiling. Squeeze your glutes and lift your hips as high as you can while keeping your knees open. At the same time, think of pulling your belly button in. This exercise helps to improve the strength of your turnout. Come back down to the floor and roll your hips up one more time. Now you want to open and close your knees. This one again is for turnout and for training your muscle memory. Open your knees as wide as you can while keeping your glutes and your abs active. Lower your hips and take a small break. Then lift your hips again and repeat the first exercise. Open your knees and lift and lower your hips. Really engage your glutes and pull your belly button in. And then come back down again and take a rest. Now let's continue with a stretching exercise for the hips. I recommend you put something soft under your knees so that it doesn't become painful. So come to lie on your belly with your knees to the sides. Your feet are together, so you have your legs in a diamond shape. Make sure to keep your hips on the floor and your feet as close to the floor as possible. In this position, what you're trying to do is to lift your knees from the floor. This feels quite impossible, and you don't have to actually lift your knees, but you want to engage your muscles. So even though you cannot see any movement from the outside, you can clearly feel your muscles working, especially your glutes. This exercise trains you to open your knees as wide as possible in your pliés. You're gaining flexibility and strength at the same time. So keep engaging your muscles and trying to lift your knees a few times more. And then release out of the position. The next exercise, which is frog pose, is similar to the last one. You again bring your knees as wide as possible, ideally with something soft underneath, but this time your feet stay apart. Your knees are bent in a 90-degree angle and your feet are flexed. Come down on your elbows and try to bring your hips as close to the floor as possible. You can do tiny movements forward and backward if this feels good, but in the neutral position your hips want to be in one line with your knees, not too far forward nor too far back. This exercise is great for improving your flexibility for pliés as well as for working towards middle splits. You can stay quite long in this position to give the strong hip muscles time to release and let go. As a variation and for an even deeper stretch, you can come up on your hands and try to press your hips down. Use your breath to go even deeper into the stretch. With your inhale, you stay in the position, and with your exhale, you try to let go even deeper. You can again do the small rocking forward and backward. And just relax into the position and enjoy the deep stretch. Think of something nice that helps you to relax and release tension. For the next variation, come down on your elbows again and weave your right arm under your left shoulder. Enjoy the opening sensation in your right shoulder while you continue to stretch your hips. Come back to the center to switch directions. Now your left arm goes through to the right side. Return to the center. Come up on your hands and start to circle your upper body counterclockwise. Then switch directions and circle clockwise. Stop in the center and now bend your elbows, come down with your upper body and then round your back and come up again. Come forward leading with your chest and round your back and come up. Repeat this a few times more. And at all times press your hips to the floor. Then bring your chest all the way down and stretch here for a little while longer. Very good. Now it's time to come out of the stretch. Come back on your hands, then lean forward, bring your legs together and come up. Now let's do a simple plié combination. Come to standing and turn your legs out in a first position. Then do demi-plié with your knees pointing in the same direction as your toes. Then another demi-plié with your arms in first position. Then breathe in and prepare your arms for grand plié. They go through second position to first position and then they open together with the straightening of your legs. We repeat the same combination in second position, so demi-plié with your arms in allongé and one more demi-plié with your arms in first position. Then breathe in, look to your hands and do a grand plié with your heels still on the floor. Bring your right foot to the front into a fourth position and repeat demi-plié with allongé. Straighten demi-plié with your arms in first. Make sure to bend both knees equally and keep your weight in the center. And now grand plié. Heels down and straighten the legs. Close your right foot into a fifth position and repeat demi-plié. One more time. And a grand plié. Make sure to keep your heels together and bend both knees equally. Back to the floor and straighten your legs. Let's repeat on the other side. Demi-plié with your arms in allongé. Then one more deep demi-plié. Stretch your calves. Then grand plié. Keep your heels as long as possible on the floor and bring them very quickly back down again. Open your left foot to the second position and do a demi-plié with your arms in allongé, then demi-plié with your hands in front of your belly button, and then a nice deep grand plié with your heels attached to the floor. Now bring your left foot into fourth position and repeat demi-plié. Bend both knees equally and bring your knees as far to the side as possible. Then grand plié, turn out as much as you can from your hips. Bring your heels quickly back down and straighten your legs. Close your left foot into fifth position and one more time, 2 demi-pliés. And 1 grand plié. Now let's try with music. I hope this video was helpful for you. Thank you for watching.